Welcome back to another episode of Overrated Everything. If you're new to the show, this is the podcast where we get a guest on each week to discuss a subject that they feel is overrated.
Yeah.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we don't agree.
A lot of the times we disagree.
Yeah.
But we have quickly discovered that it is the podcast where your favourite actors, singers, celebrities, whatever, love to moan, and we moan with them.
We all love a moan.
Love it.
We
Can't get
all
enough
love
of
a
it.
moan.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this podcast. People come on, have a little bit of a moan, and have some nice, funny moments, and everybody gets a nice little podcast.
Exactly. And if you do love what we do, you can sign up to our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/overrated everything. That just helps us secure better guests and just have an all-round neater podcast.
Yep. Should we put podcast down?
Enjoy.
Stick it on.
That night in Liverpool, I just want to talk about that really quickly.
Where we met.
Yeah, we met.
Well,
Can you remember?
Can I just give a little bit of backstory first? So I messed, because obviously I got hold of you through our mutual friend Briggsy, who's been on the podcast. And I asked you to come on, and then I messaged Tomo saying, "Oh, we've got Adam Rowe like buzzing," and he was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "What?" He went, "I think I might have told him to fuck off in Liverpool once."
So basically,
I woke up and was like, "Do you remember?" I got told by my mate, he was like, "Do you remember meeting Sean last night?" And I went, "Who's Sean?" He went, "Sean from This Is England." And I went, "Thomas Turgoose." And he went, Yeah, he was in Teddy's." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I do." But I was twatted.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when it slowly comes back to you because someone said something to you. And I think someone said to me, "The lad from This Is England's in here. He's over there, like, having a drink. Go and say hello." And I was just drunk. And apparently came over. And I just remember you, like, shaking my hand. And then that's all I really remember. And then leaving. But then you messaged me going, "Me mates have told me." I was like, "Gobshite to you."
Well, I think one of my mates, Joe, is like... Because I know for a fact that I wouldn't tell anyone to fuck off on a night out unless they gave me reason to. And you would obviously never do that. And so I woke up in Liverpool. I was on a stag do and I woke up on a Sunday morning. And I remember, like, stinking hungover. Like, you know, when you fucking, like, your mouth tastes like you've been eating sand. And my mate Joe come in the room and he went, "Goose, can you remember what you did last night?" And I was like, "No, why? What?" And he went, "You know Adam Rowe?" And I went, the comedian, the podcast, yeah. He went, "You told him to fuck off last night." And I was like, "What?" I said, "I think I'd remember if I met him, and I think I'd definitely remember if I told him to fuck off." And he went, "No, honestly, mate, you did. Like, I wouldn't lie about it." And I thought, fucking hell. So then I went straight on my phone and I messaged you saying, "Did I meet you last night?" And you was kind of a bit like, "Oh, I'm not sure, maybe, da-da-da-da." And I was like, "Did I tell you to fuck off?" And he was like, "No, I don't think so." And I was like, so when he said he was coming on, I thought, oh, fucking hell.
No, I don't think that's what happened. I think...
But it's the greatest prank of all time. But like my mate Joe
it's
stitched me up big time.
Hangover anxiety, isn't it?
Yeah,
playing with you.
Yeah, and that's fucking...
You're never going to remember that bar that we were in is called Teddy's. And that's like my late night. Like, if I'm out till 3-4 in the morning, I'll be in there because it's the last place open. It's decent.
See, I couldn't even tell you anything about it. I don't know where it was. Is it quite an indie bar? Is there like...
It's sort of a bit indie, grungy, American
so. Like
American Pie
downstairs?
playlist. Yeah.
Right,
So there's an upstairs bar, but then the downstairs is like...
Like caves.
Yeah.
I can vaguely remember it. I can vaguely remember being in a bar and it was like... Sort of my
some
kind
guy
of
there
music.
who you went, "Fuck off, man."
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, I can vaguely remember being in a place like that, but you know what it's like on a stag do, innit? It's like, yeah, you just sort of, all hell breaks loose. But yeah, when he told me that, and I was like, no. I said, I wouldn't tell anyone to fuck off, but yeah. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here, mate.
Yeah,
thanks
for
us,
coming in after though.
And I don't think that happened, but you know.
I don't think that.
But I don't know either, so I can't truly lay your fears to rest.
Yeah.
It's like you have slept together and both of you like woke up the next morning like, did we do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I woke up next to him, but like, did it go in?
Woke up with Johnny hanging out my ass. I don't know what happened. Yeah, no, buzzing your ear, mate. I know when Andy said you was coming on, I was buzzing about it. Obviously, as soon as you addressed the elephant in the room. But, how's life for you, mate? You're mad busy, aren't you? In a minute, you're just saying that you've...
Yeah, I've just come back from a little trip away, which wasn't a break. It was a city break.
So it wasn't.
It's a break, but it's not a holiday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went to Brussels, which I 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
All
right.
It's
Why?
fucking nothing to do, and it's the worst food I've ever seen in my life.
Is it? German food. Is it Germany? Brussels?
No,
Brussels?
it's Belgium.
Belgium, innit?
Belgium,
Yeah.
All they do is chips and waffles.
Really?
When I say waffles, I mean like the sweet one.
All right.
So every shop is
Belgian
like
waffles.
one's some chips, and then the other one's waffle, and then it's like you got any food that isn't it? Like no.
Is there not even a McDonald's there? Because that's always a safe option when you're on holiday.
Yeah, but like when I go abroad, I feel like I'm not being cultured if I go somewhere like that. I'm trying to try the local stuff. Like I drank nothing but Belgian beers for a few days. Talking about stuff that's overrated. Go on.
Go on.
Belgian beers.
I was going to say, what
People pretend to like them.
Yeah.
No one likes Belgian beers. They just want to look dead hard because they're like, oh, it's 12% and I love it. It's my favourite one.
I think the same with most like beers. I think people are just like they get a bit arsey about it. Like, oh, you're drinking, Madrid, the Spanish Carlin, or do you know what I mean?
Madrid's great.
Yeah, I think it's.
I've got to be honest with you. I am an alcohol snob.
Oh really?
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, because I've like I don't really drink much lager anymore. I've moved on to like bitter and stuff like that. Just because
I'm Guinness.
old man.
If I can
Oh
get
right,
it.
nice,
a
yeah.
good Guinness.
But then to me, like there is a certain Carlin is a cooking lager and should never be drank.
Carlin, I don't mind it.
Carlsberg is it?
Carlsberg.
One of them anyway. No, it is Carlin. Yeah, the black and white tin.
Yeah.
But I just
out
think
of a
all
tin. No
lager.
beer's good out of a tin.
No.
All
Apart
lager
from a
pretty much-
stubby. Like
Oh
a
yeah, the little
can.
bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, the
A
little
little
cans.
can of like Heineken
okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
is
Nicer.
but a big like Foster's or Carlin can
Nah.
just reminds me of being like
Festival.
12.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it reminds me.
yeah.
Also reminds me of being at a festival. When you've got like a crate of like 24 cans of Carlin or Foster's, and they've been sat in your tent sweating all weekend. And
Do you know the only time I've ever been to a festival was Leeds Festival last year
Did you go
as a 30-year-old.
Was you working
wow.
or was you?
No, I
there?
went to the Arctic Monkeys,
Oh, did you?
but I just felt like
Like, what
an
horrible
absolute
festival.
paedophile.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh, what was you
walking
doing?
around with
You're
no
allowed to
clothes
be
on.
around them.
You could be in, or can you? We don't know. We don't know your backstory. We don't do much research on guests.
It was just...
It's gross, isn't it?
And also, I left it too long in my life to have my first festival experience, and I
yeah.
just got there and I was like, I was too old to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we do Kendall Calling, don't we? We DJ there, and we've been doing it.
I've done a set there.
It's decent, and we've
Yeah.
been doing it for the last sort of six years on and off.
Yeah, something like that.
Obviously, COVID in the middle of that. So, like the last time we went pre-COVID, say 2019, it was nice. We felt, oh, this is great. This is our scene. And then we were just saying off mic. Then that kind of 2 years that COVID took off you. I remember going back last year when it was on 2022,
Didn't we leave
and
early?
I literally felt old.
We
And
left
I don't know
early.
whether that's because the crowd had changed there or we just, like
Got
you say,
old.
lost 2 years,
Yeah.
2 years of our life, and then you're walking around and there's like, girls with next to nothing on, lads with like bucket hats and shit like that, and you're like, fucking hell, man, like,
Yeah.
it's not that
I
kind
did
of
have a
festival.
bucket hat for Leeds.
Did you?
That's so
I went in
annoying
a yellow
it was
Liverpool
then.
top. It wasn't even a bucket hat, it was a boonie. Like
What's a boonie?
It's like an Australian one. It's like got a big rim
Nice.
and like the string that comes under.
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
boonie.
Sunglasses
Alright,
on as well,
okay,
a lot of it. Yeah.
Sunglasses boonie and a Liverpool away kit from 1994.
Nice, mate, nice. I mean, I reckon you would have had a better experience had you picked a better festival though. Leeds Fest is the grungiest I've done because I DJ Leeds and Reading, and we played Leeds on the Friday I think, and then we got there and it was minging because obviously people had been there since Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah.
Leeds
the
used to
ground
always
was
be
mashed up.
the kind of rocky, moshery kind of festival.
Yeah,
didn't
it was
I think?
like, and it stunk.
There was
And
a
then-
lot of that, and
yeah.
I'm not into that either.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like I had a terrible day until the Arctic Monkeys started, and then I was sort of too drunk
To enjoy.
to enjoy the Arctic Monkeys properly because I was like,
Did you
I've drank
manage?
to numb this
Did
day.
you manage to blag some wristbands for the VIP bit, or did you go as a
No,
regular punter?
just
let's
went
say?
as
a
a
regular.
regular guy,
Nice.
just man of the people,
I think
walking around
I
like
get
I'm
that, but it's nice
like
to have
I'm
them
normal.
wristbands. I get that, but it's nice to have them wristbands where you can go and just have a clean shit. That's the
Oh, I
difference.
love that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
the
I've got
difference.
IBS,
Yeah.
undiagnosed, but I mean,
Yeah, it's just
a
bad.
short
It's
conversation with a doctor.
But yeah, it's nice to have that and to be able to get like some not queue up for 40 minutes for a flat pint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice to have that little option in it, but
Look at you little pampered.
mate, I don't care.
princess.
I don't care admitting it. Like since we went to Kendal the first year and they put us in one of those yurts, and we had beds and we've got showers and we've got like a transfer bus that takes you to the arena, so there's no walking. Like I don't mind saying it, like that I'm spoiled by that. Now if I went to a festival as a reggae, I don't think I'd like it. I'd hate it.
I totally
Did you camp?
get it.
Did you camp?
No, we just went for the day.
Oh, you went for the day?
Yeah.
Like,
camping's
I'm so on board with you. I know he's sort of sounding like a Tory here because
he is.
and I get it.
It's not even the most Tory thing I've said today.
I know, but I'm the same now. Like, I am working class. Socialist ideals will always vote left. But I'm exactly the same.
You do
like
get
once you have a little taste of like these people who are like, oh no, you've got to camp, it's part of the experience. No, it isn't. No, I don't have to stink for 3 days. I'd rather be the best smelling person in the field. Who's had a shower, me undies are clean, like me pint's got a head on it. Why have I got to have all the shit bit just
anyone
because...
who says that different, they've never been offered it. That's
I think that's the thing, innit? I think it's with them unnecessary shit things. Like camping at a festival, it is unnecessary, innit, really? Like, you could get an hotel nearby, or you could do whatever, but everyone does that. Oh, it's a festival, because I'm the same as you. Like, I wouldn't go and camp at a festival now because I've had that niceness. Same with, like, with going back to the DJing thing, like, you know, like nightclubs and shit like that. Like, you walk past a nightclub queue and you're like, I'm not fucking getting in that. I'm not getting in that.
You've got to wait at the bar to get a pint. What, they don't bring you bottles of vodka. Like, this is weird. Like, the DJ did ruin nights out for us because, like you say, like you queuing for ages to get in, and then like when we're DJing, like it'll be the same for you when you're doing your stand up. You've got a green room and you get whatever you want and you spoil, and then you can just. It's like you own the club. It's fucking mint.
It's so. Any sort of luxury you're given, like, it's hard to go. Have you ever flown, like, business class?
Nah.
Like, honestly, it is so hard to get on a plane ever again. And not. So, the first time I flew it was last January going to New York. And that was with Aer Lingus. And that's not quite what you imagine business class to be. Like, we've all seen films where the guy's got a bed and... Aer Lingus business class, you know, it's a... The guy will smile at you slightly more often than he likes to, and that's pretty much as good as it gets. But then when I went to Dubai to do a show last year, it was Emirates on the way back, and the upgrade was like 200 quid on the way home. So I said to the comedy club, so that I don't pay for it, could you just knock 200 quid off the fee and get me that upgrade? Primarily because I knew Emirates showed Premier League football on the flight in business class.
Oh, nice.
And Liverpool were playing Fulham.
Yeah,
start of the season.
Big game.
Well, it was the start of the season when I was full of hope. No, I think we drew.
Did you drew? Ah, right, okay.
I think it was 1-1. I can't remember. Terrible season. Trying to forget it all. It's very hard. Like, I flew back from Hungary the other day from Budapest, Ryanair, and
sat like this.
It's just like once you've had a taste of like what it is like beyond that curtain, like where they've got a bed, like and a telly, and they just go, you can just, and a gin and tonic appears like within seconds, and you don't get fucking charged for it, and like the food comes round, but if you want a bit extra, you can just be like, can I just have more food? And he's like, of course you can, you're in business class, it's really important. If anyone at the back's like, could I have a biscuit? Like, you can fucking wait half an hour, and going back to that and being treated like that after you've had any taste of it is nigh on impossible. I'm going to New York next week, and I'm flying with Virgin from Manchester. On the way out, I'm flying in the afternoon, and the upgrade was like 350 quid.
It's not brainer, innit?
I was just like, I've got to do it. On the way back, the exact same company, but it's because it's flying at night, the upgrade was $4,500.
So
wow.
I was like, I'm not doing that. Because that is just unjustifiable. I haven't got that sort of money, but for 350 quid, spread that across.
And that feels like a bargain then, when it's when you know it's $4,000, you go, I'm gonna pay for it.
Do you know what it is? It's because we're flying out in the day, no one's asked about having a bed. But flying back at night at like 10 o'clock at night, everyone's like, oh, I can kip on the plane. So that's why they put it up, but it's not worth that. Like, it's not that good.
The last time I was, I had a business class flight booked, and it was to go to New York to do some work. And I remember I had my ticket in my hand, and I remember walking up to the check-in desk past a massive queue of like economy, and I remember just thinking, monks. And then I got to the front.
People from Grimsby must have fucking disowned you long ago.
I know it backfired big times. I remember getting to the front of the queue, and I was like, "Hi, can I check in for my flight?" And she went, "Yeah, what's your name?" Blah da da da. And she went, "Oh, your Esther has been denied. You're not allowed to fly." And I was like, what do you mean? And she said that one of the questions So you know the yes no answers. Like, are you involved in this? No, of course not. No.
You said
so
you would have said it.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't as bad as that. But I thought the down arrow key on my laptop. Cause this is why I'm a technophobe. I just can't do it. I thought the down arrow key on my laptop would have taken me down to more questions, but it was knocking it from yes to no, which I didn't see.
Yeah.
So I was going down and I was like, oh, it's not taking me down. Just take the mouse down. 50-50 chance. Landed on yes. And apparently, according to them, I'd overstayed a visa in the States before, so I wasn't allowed to fly into New York. And I remember walking, so I had to get in a hotel at Heathrow, and I remember the director rang me and he was like, where are you? You in New York? And I was like, no, mate, I'm in the bath in Heathrow crying because they wouldn't let me on the plane. Missed out on the job. Fucking hate America. Don't want to go ever again. Whoa. Business class is for knobheads. But yeah, man, that whole experience of it's just a bit wild, isn't it? Yeah.
It's very, it's that line from that James song, Sit Down, if I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor.
Yeah,
I've lived with fuck all.
Same, mate.
Grew up with truly fuck all. And once you've had a little bit of stuff, it's very hard to...
It is, but it makes you want to work harder. And
Yeah.
get those nice things.
Totally. Like, don't get me wrong, as lucky as I am, I do acknowledge that I work me absolute bollocks off for everything that has managed to come my way. I'm very proud of the work I've put in, but it is very difficult to ever go back once you've...
Yeah. And you can see why. I mean, you hear these stories, don't you, about celebrities being arseholes and stuff like that. And
I'd make
because of that,
sound like an arsehole.
No, but because of that, sometimes you can go, well, yeah, if you're friggin', I don't know, Leonardo DiCaprio or someone, you're going to be surrounded by that life by people who never say no to you. So you quickly kind of get used to it. Like we always talk about it, don't we? Like being on a set, like my first day on a set, you kind of people will be like, oh, do you want a coffee and that? And you're like, oh, I'll grab it. Yeah, it sounds, And then the next day, like, no, I'll get it for you. And you're like, oh, go on then, because I've got to do this and I've got to do that.
Yeah.
And then day 4, you're like, where's my fucking coffee? And it's not even, but then you can imagine these people who are like, are we not getting fucking Starbucks? Do you know what I mean? You can see that gradual kind of build from I'll get my coffee to I want Starbucks now.
I still struggle with that a little bit sometimes. And my first proper TV job where we did an extended run, there's a comic called Tez Ilyas, and he got the Tez O'Clock show, which was a new format for Channel 4. And I was one of the regular guests on it every week. And there's this lad coming in, can I get you a coffee? I was like, no, I'm all right, lad. And then 5 minutes later, I made myself a coffee. And he's like, oh, I'll make it. I was like, lad, I can... I can pour that, I'm literally that. Someone come over to me who works for the production company and was like, let him make you the coffee, because if the production manager sees you making your own coffee and sees him doing nothing, he gets in trouble because that's his job.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I don't want to fucking work, and that's where I can't pour my own coffee and someone's going to get in trouble if I make myself. I know how I like me coffee.
Yeah,
that's
it.
You've got to put the hot water onto the tea bag, squeeze the tea bag 3 times, swirl it round a bit, take the tea bag out, then put the milk in. What if he doesn't do it like that?
Well, that's a fucking weird coffee if you've got tea bag in it, for one. Also, I wouldn't want to make that coffee.
We're also because when someone says, oh, can I get you a cup of tea? You go, oh, no, I'm alright, I've nothing on, I can go do it. And then I go, oh, can I get you a coffee? And they're like, whoa, no. If someone, like you said, if a producer, the exec producer see the talent, as it were. Yeah. I'm doing in quotations for anyone who's not watching. Making I don't know, someone who's the floor runner a coffee. Jesus, that looked awful to them, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But that's just in our nature to be like, oh, and I'll make it. Yeah. I can make you one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's it. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? That feel that, like you say, of growing up with next to fuck all and coming from the kind of places that we come from. Like you say, it's hard, and we were talking about remember years ago I got invited over to Adidas and they were like, they said, oh, do you want some gear? So I was like, fucking yeah, of course I want some gear, do you know what I mean? Went in their offices in London and they opened up this door and it's just a fucking warehouse, and the guy went, take what you want, and I had to literally go, mate, I'm a lad from a council estate in Manchester, you can't give me a limit because you're saying take what you want. I'll be getting shit that don't fit me because I know I'll be able to sell it.
I'll have one of the lads. I'll have one of the lads from the estate down in a van. I'll be sat here for 4 hours. I'll be here long after you've gone home, loading up truck after truck.
He was like, right, okay, 3 or 4 bags, and I was like, is it 3 or is it 4 bags though? 'Cause again, like, don't like just give me a fucking set amount, man.
I get blown away now because like I'll get people messaging me on Instagram, like brands and stuff, going, can we just send you some clothes and just like tag us in a story or whatever? And I'm always like, yeah, great. And they're like, just go on the website and tell us what you want. And I'm like, just send us what you want me to wear. And they're like, yeah, just go and pick what you want. I'm like, I will literally, I'm an XL top, medium bottom, because I'm shaped like a fucking toffee apple. And like any jackets, I can go a little bit smaller than them, so we'll have a large in them. Shoes, I'm a size 8 UK. You send me whatever you want. No, go and pick whatever you want. I'll have the whole website. Send me everything. Any free clothes, I'll wear it. Even if it looks shit on me, I'll put it on and tag you in the story. There's no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like that's probably any. Deep down, I'm thinking, right, well, I want to get rid of my social media because I spend too much time on it. Yeah. But deep down, the only reason that I won't get rid of it is because of the free shit that I get sent off it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, God, no, I'll just keep it just for that then, yeah.
I'm totally addicted to it. I'm so bad for... Yeah. And I need it for work, obviously. It's a big part of, like, as being a comic and, like, the podcast and stuff, like, having to promote everything all the time, you do need it. But I'm so bad sometimes for just being on Twitter and reading the same 10 tweets I read an hour ago and still scrolling. I'm like, I know I've already seen everything below this.
Yeah.
Do you do that thing where I'll scroll my Instagram, go off that, scroll my Twitter, and then scroll my Facebook, lock my phone straight away, straight back on it, and do it again. And I'm like, you've literally less than 10 seconds ago done that. Like, what are you doing?
It's ridiculous. My screen time sometimes is like 11 hours.
11 hours?
Fucking hell.
Because I'll just wake up and like I'm sometimes like the screen time is like if it's open. So sometimes like I'm just like I'm talking to me missus or me mate, and I'm like, yeah, TikTok's there. Like, I'm just waiting to finish what you're saying. I'm not interested whatsoever. Wow, fucking look at it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I find myself like I'll put like a stand-up special on Netflix, like a comic that I love is like drops a new special and I'll put it on, and then I go on TikTok and I'm watching someone else do stand-up while my favourite comic is on the telly doing stand-up.
Yeah, it's so
just
weird.
Just because it's from my phone, it's like it's a different hit of endorphins.
Your vision is just... We was talking about Phoenix Nights yesterday, me and Andy, and I sat there and I watched what I thought was the whole 2 series. Yeah. And Andy said, oh, can you remember this bit? And I was like, no. I only watched it last week, but I thought in my head I'd watched it all, but that whole bit must have been when I was on my phone, just not paying any attention whatsoever, and it's like... Why do we put things on TV when we just sit on our phone anyway? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, just going on overrated subjects, I think someone has had social media on as an overrated subject, haven't they? But that, for me, is just like, A, it's overrated because it's boring, and B, it's like, it's not fucking good for us, is it? Like...
No, and we don't know how bad it is yet. No. Because it's not been around long enough to have any proper data. Like, people are going to be... fucked mentally in 20 years because of social media.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's a full-on addiction. It's an addiction.
It's exactly the same as drugs. It's exactly the same. Like, here's the thing. Like, TikTok's the worst for it. TikTok's ability to find what you like and show you nothing but crazy. That is so insane. And it's literally like, oh, there's the thing. It's like having a line or a hit of weed or like even a drink if that's your thing. It's that first little, I like that. And there's 20 seconds gone, and the next one, I like that. Don't like that one, don't like that one, don't like... Like, it's just constant little endorphin hits and serotonin rushes. What is that doing to us?
And like you said, like, it's the algorithms. So if you watch a video of, like, Liverpool for the whole video, that'll then go on your algorithm, and then it'll show you more about football, and then all of a sudden you'll have videos of the night in Istanbul, and that, and then that's why they get you there. And, like, mine's just constantly just golf, really. It's just because that's what I enjoy watching, but then you, like you said, you can sit on it for fucking hours.
Mine's a lot of women who've got like spicy accountants in their bio.
Yeah, mine's got all that as well, but I'm married. I just didn't want to.
I'm in a very loving relationship, but mine is a lot of women going, if you had 24 hours with me and I couldn't say no, what are we going to do? And then I scroll past Istanbul and beating United 7-0. It's another, why aren't you in uniform? Big pair of tits.
I love that, because I know exactly what you're on about.
Of course you do. Full of shit. Mine's all golf. Is it, lad, yeah? Is it fucking really?
Do you know what?
You're skipping past fucking Instagram models to watch Tiger Woods. Fucking bollocks, mate.
Do you know what? It got to the point where, like...
I don't know who this is. I'm not answering the phone, right? Let me just show you something. If I go onto my Instagram, and I'm sorry that the people at home can't see this, right? If I go onto my Instagram, just watch this. Just watch. If I just click that. Look at it.
As always.
Look at it.
Yeah.
And that's not my fault.
That's an algorithm.
It's not my fault that my Instagram is full of women half naked. Because of course, if you show men, women, and like, do you like? I'm not liking pictures. I'm never ever
you're
liking.
stopping on it for like
I'm not
longer than
fucking
so many
simple. I'm not
seconds,
commenting. Ooh, sexy late. I'm not that guy. I'm not liking them. I'm not commenting. I'm not DMing them. But Instagram has figured out that if I am scrolling on my phone,
you stop at.
I stop at that one and I go, oh, that is fantastic. Swipe through all 6 of their pictures, do absolutely nothing about it, and then I keep scrolling, and then I get to the next one. And Instagram has figured it out. And look at her, wonderful. What a lovely looking lady. She's got her arse out. The next one there is just her face, but with a filter on.
Get rid of that one.
There we go. 2 girls who, I bet you, she's got less than 2,000 followers, and she has been suggested for me because Instagram has figured out this is who I am, and I refuse to accept it.
Have you seen now though as well? Like, because I noticed this the other day on, I think it was like Facebook Marketplace and that. People have clocked onto that now, and so this picture came up the other day, and it was this woman, and she was like, you know, scantily dressed or whatever.
She was,
but like she you know, she had like the tight leggings on and like a boob tube kind of thing.
That and you didn't just say, oh, she was
well,
naked.
yeah, but it was someone trying to sell a couch. When you clicked it, it was like because she was stood in front of the couch. So it's obviously someone's done that to go. People will stop on this.
Are you sure this wasn't like a human trafficking thing that you haven't gone into?
It could have been.
We're selling a couch.
Yeah, they're selling a couch.
She's very nice, isn't she?
The casting couch.
But yeah, like obviously people have clocked onto that and gone, right, okay, I need to shift a few fucking settees.
Look, get that nice top on, look.
Yeah. And that's like a marketing strategy now because they know most blokes, a lot of ladies will as well, stop on it and give it a look, and then there's a couch there for sale, so some people go,
Sex sells everything. It sells aftershave and perfume, doesn't it?
Yeah, sex sells, man.
If there's like a Dior advert, it's fucking David Gandhi or someone else, and it's just, look how fit he is. Imagine how good this smells.
Yeah.
Because they can't tell you what it smells like.
No.
They can't just do an advert where it's like, it's got vanilla, lavender, and peaches in. I mean, that'd be a terrible aftershave. But they don't do that, do they? They just go, isn't he gorgeous? And look, Charlize Theron thinks he's fit as well.
And that's
so
what
maybe she'll think
like.
You're fit if you buy our aftershave.
Well, that's literally it, isn't it? It's like that,
well, advertising is obviously sex sells, but then good advertising isn't advertising you the product, it's advertising you the life you could have if you just owned this product. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't go and buy a car for, it's like, you know, oh, look who drives that car, look who, you know what I mean, look who, James Bond drives an Aston Martin, that's cool, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's just the way that it is. Like, the whole social media thing is like I'm scared to open my TikTok in public. Like, if I'm on the train, I probably wouldn't open my TikTok because I'm like, sometimes Instagram as well, because I like that suggested posting or or is it post you may like that it keeps doing. Like, I don't want to open it on the train because I don't want people to sat near me thinking that I'm a pervert.
Yeah, but theirs is probably the same, I bet, like you said.
Well, it's just, I think it's just poisoning our minds, isn't it, really? But I remember when I was a kid, I must have been about 14, 15, I remember getting a train to London on my own. But I used to go into the little magazine shop at the train station and buy like the Nuts magazine.
Yeah,
I remember reading Nuts and Zoo and all that. Like, essentially like soft porn on the train. Like, it's just mad how that's
not us. Just like someone reading Take a Break.
Do you know what I mean?
I used to
buy
buy
it's for the pub ammo.
I used to buy both of them every week.
Yeah.
And what I used to do, right, because my mum and dad didn't know, I was using me like school dinner money to buy it, right? And I used to pull my bottom drawer out of my bedside table, put them under the bottom drawer, put the drawer back. And one day I came home from school and my mum and dad had done like a deep clean of the house.
Oh no.
And my bedroom, and like they'd switched around, put my bed in a different place, put everything, so they'd moved everything. And I was just like, that's gone. And my dad tried to have a little chat with me. We used to have a table tennis table in the back garden. We were just having a game of table tennis. Daddy's like, so, who's been buying you those magazines? And I was like, hey, I've been buying them myself. Actually, you allowed them. Like, you don't have to get an adult to get those ones. They're not off the top shelf.
We so years ago, me mate, he's just sat off camera over here. We found his brother's stash of, let's say, not Nuts and Zoo, the higher level ones. We were about 15, 16, and he gave me one. He was like, "Oh, take that. You can have that. Like, my brother will never know, whatever." And like, I had it hidden under like my mattress for like years. and forgot about it. Like, we were about 14, 15. And then probably I was about 17. Like I said, it'd been under there for years. And I just got a call off my mum. And she just answered the call. She went, "You dirty little bastard." And I was like, "What? What are you on about?" She went, "You dirty little bastard." And I was like, "What are you going on about?" She went, "I've just been tidying your room." So I was like, right, thinking I'm 17, it's probably a shit tip. And she was like, "I did your bed." And it just dawned on me. I was like, "Oh shit." She went, "Yeah, I flipped up your mattress and I found your stats." I was like,
God.
"Oh no."
How mad is it that it was all magazines back then? And now
Yeah, that's something kids will never...
kids have access to everything at your fingertips.
Can you imagine trying to wank now to a magazine?
It's
a still image of a woman just like, "Got tits, haven't I?" It's like, I need to see something awful happening to you to even get on. Like, we're not even close to getting me ready here, love. That is nowhere near enough. Like, there's nowhere near enough people in this picture.
You've got a biro pen right on the darkest things ever. Yeah, that's mental, isn't it? How things have changed. But
do you know what's going to be really hard now?
Going to talk...
sidestep into fucking sushi from that.
Yeah,
How did we get there?
We're going to talk a bit about Adam's overrated subject, like you said, obviously before. But yeah, now to go and talk about sushi. But I mean, I agree with the sushi thing. I mean, it's not just sushi. It's like a lot of foods I think are overrated. But I mean, sushi for me is one of them.
Okay, so what are the other ones?
What are overrated foods?
I think food's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just think sushi is just... I think there was some fella in Japan, and one day he just was fucking lazy and couldn't be arsed cooking some salmon and thought, "I wonder if I just ate it." And then someone caught... Like, he's hungover to fuck, right? He's having a shit day. And he's just there, just chewing on a salmon.
Yeah.
And someone's been like, "Fucking hell, John, what the fuck are you doing here, lad?" Like,
common name in Japan, John.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Like, so what's going on here? He's like, "Oh, have you never done this before?" He's trying to like get out of it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's fucking gaslighted someone into thinking it's a normal thing, and that has invented an entire cuisine that everyone has fell for.
Yeah.
Why are we not cooking it?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it is a strange one, isn't it? I mean, I don't mind a bit of sushi. I have to be careful because I'm allergic to prawns and stuff. But like, I don't mind it. It's not my go-to.
I love seafood.
Yeah, I love seafood. I was brought up on like a lot of seafood. I love cockles, which essentially I guess is raw fish.
Oh, I'd say seafood is overrated.
Really?
I'm from Grimsby. But like fish and chips, I know it comes out of the sea, haddock. But I don't know, I wouldn't class it as seafood.
No, that's not seafood.
No, it's not.
Well, that's
fish and chips isn't seafood.
Alright, cool. Well, seafood's overrated then, to me.
Okay.
I don't get it. Like, you say with...
Do you know what? I love seafood, but I would agree that it's overrated. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
like I like it.
I guess it's...
But like this idea that it's like the most decadent, like, fancy... "Oh, I'm going to a seafood restaurant because I'm cultured and very important." Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like prawns, lad. You know what I mean? Like, I like seafood a lot, but I do think it's overrated as well.
What's that really nice seafood restaurant? There's like a chain of them, but they're like quite upmarket.
Harry Ramsden's.
I know. Lock Fine.
Yeah, I remember going there. I think Steve took us there, and it was one of them. It was like, "Oh, you'll love it," you know. And we went, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's nice."
Stevie Graham's changed.
It's fish.
He's changed.
Has he?
He's awful now.
Scouse root's gone.
Fine dining. He can't get enough of it.
I love fine dining now.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
That was Stephen Graham's overrated subject.
Was it?
Yeah, but every restaurant that I've been to with Stephen has been like
top notch.
The best restaurant I've ever been to is called The Kitchen. The head chef is Tom Kitchen.
Right.
Like, with a name like that.
Yeah,
he had to go into that field.
Yeah.
It's in Edinburgh.
Do you reckon it was christened Tom Kitchen, or do you reckon it?
No, I think it is because his name is Kichin. So it's not like...
so it's not... Yeah, okay.
And it's called the restaurant is called The Kitchen, like his surname. And it's... If you have Michelin star food, it's going back to like business class. It makes you feel like you've never actually had food before.
Yeah.
Really?
And then everything else is just different. Like,
it's just a tiny little dish, the portions though.
Yeah, but when you've got 11 of them, like, you get quite full.
It's, quoting Stevie Graham, when he said him and Hannah went for this top-notch thing. You know, where the people who compliment the wine is sommelier. sommelier.
Yeah.
So he had one of those, and it was all top class. And he said he walked out of the restaurant and he got to Leicester Square, and he said he looked at Hannah, his wife, and just said, "I'm starving." Like, he's had this meal, but he's still starving.
I've never had that with a fine dining. I've always got to the end of me like, I've had enough there.
Yeah.
The River Cafe in Brooklyn, New York, I went there as well. That's a la carte. That's not... It's still fine dining, still Michelin starred, but it's not a tasting menu. It's not like 11 courses. It was starter, main, dessert, and it was outrageous.
I don't think I've ever had fine dining as such.
Like with the 11 courses kind of thing.
No, I don't think so.
If you're ever in Edinburgh, go to the kitchen. It's expensive. It's really expensive.
Well, how much is it costing you for a meal in there?
I took my ex-girlfriend there, and I think the bill was like 650 quid.
Wow.
I think that was 8 courses
Make
each.
you sick.
Huh?
That
To
not
upgrade
you sick,
that,
man. Jesus.
Do you know what it was?
650 quid.
We were in Edinburgh for an ex-girlfriend's birthday, and she really wants to go to this place, and I was like, okay, how about this? I won't get you a main present.
She paid?
No, I did.
I was going to say, is that the reason you're not together anymore? Because she didn't
the reason we're not together anymore is revealed in my new special, Juicy. Allegedly. I was there with an ex-girlfriend, and I just, for her birthday, was like, I'll get the meal because it's very expensive.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the best food I've ever had anywhere.
What did you have? What was you drinking? Was it like...
So it was during COVID where you couldn't drink in Scotland indoors, even with a meal.
Oh, really? I didn't know
So
that
we
was
just
a
had
thing.
soft drinks, and then they had a little terrace where we could have a drink afterwards. It was the rules during COVID were so fucking stupid.
Yeah, you can drink outside, but you can't drink inside. But
Yeah.
that was just that's a strange one. I didn't know that was.
God, I remember sitting outside in the fucking pissing rain and the sideways wind, just because it was in a pub and eating like pub grub and having a pint. Just because it was like.
There was nightclubs open in Liverpool, but
There
like
was?
they had to give you a pizza.
People
stood around and nightclubs holding a fucking slice
Well,
of pizza.
that's quite an old thing, because I listened to a podcast called the Blind Boy Podcast. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's an Irish sort of musician and now podcaster, and he was talking about that, about like in Ireland when nightclubs first became a thing, there was a law in place where you had to serve food. You had to eat food as well, so your ticket got you in the nightclub and it got you like chips.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So at one point, at say 2 a.m, everyone would have, because like it was one of them things where it was like, we can't just have people drinking till like 4 a.m, because obviously if they've had the dinner at 5 and then they're just drinking, they're going to be like really, really drunk. So you have to give them some kind of food. So maybe it was a throwback to that, where it was like, right, well, we have to give people
during
food.
COVID, it was just you have to. So they didn't want people getting drunk.
Yeah.
Inside. So it was like, you can drink with a meal. So the nightclubs went, well, we'll just sell a pizza then.
Yeah, and we'll just get
It was just fucking ridiculous. Like, I went on a first date, and like all the places in Liverpool knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So they sat us down. We'd already been for our dinner. Like, I took her out for dinner. And we went to like another bar. And when we come in, they were like, and what would you like your food to be? And we were like, oh, whatever. And yeah, no worries. We've already ate. And they're like, great, yeah. So they sat us down at a table, and because of social distancing, there was like a table, then an empty one, then a table and an empty one. And on the empty table next to us, they just put a pizza. I'm like, we're just going to leave your pizza there. And we're like, yeah, sound. And then we could drink whatever we wanted. But we had to pay 12 quid for a pizza to go on a table next to us. Just because the law at the time was you couldn't sell people drink without giving them food as well, because of the COVID rules. Which was
when you think about a disease or a virus, make sense that a pizza sat next to you is going to stop you getting COVID.
It was just such a good way of showing how misinformed and stupid the government's handling and their rules were COVID, where you can drink but you've got to have something to eat with it. So restaurants went, well, okay, do they have to finish the meal? No, but they have to order it. There you go.
I mean,
Crazy,
we
added
could
12 quid onto every meal.
Yeah.
Every drink.
Yeah. I mean, that's boosting the economy a little bit. So, I guess that's a plus for it.
Yeah, but it's just a small dint on what there was wasting, isn't it? But,
yeah.
Mate, we could sit here and go deep into this, couldn't we? And fucking hell, we'd be here all day. But, yeah.
Sushi, though.
Sushi.
Have you ever been to one of them? Because I, like I say, the only kind of sushi I'd ever really had was like a meal deal sushi.
Yeah.
I'd never really been to a sushi restaurant. But have you ever been to one of them ones where they've got it on the fucking...
On the conveyor belt?
The conveyor belt
Don't
kind
most
of
of them do that? That's a sushi thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but so I haven't been to one of them because when I found out what sushi was, I was like, no, I'm not having it. And then I went to Dubai and I was out there with another comedian, and the venue put us up in like this unbelievable hotel, and the buffet was included.
Oh, right.
But like it was a buffet where it's like you order whatever you want.
Yeah, and
like it's not like they've already made it and it's all sat there. So Rich, the guy, goes, "Oh, you do sushi?" And he got a bit of it, and I just got, I think, a soup at first. Like, there was a bowl of soup, and I was like, I'm just going to have a bit of this, and I'll decide.
Yeah.
And he went, this sushi is unbelievable. And I was like, oh, I don't like sushi. He was like, you ever tried it? And I was like, no. And he goes, try this, because if you don't like this, you don't like sushi.
Okay.
So I went, okay, I'll have some. So this unbelievable place in Dubai, they're doing the best food in the world. And I ordered the sushi, and it knocked me sick. It was the sashimi, it was the raw salmon.
Yeah.
Fucking cook it. I love salmon. Cook the fucking
salmon.
fish.
So do you not even like, what is it, like, is it smoked salmon?
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say, you know, in the
salmon
packet, you get in a bagel, you put them in a bagel, like cream cheese bagel, a bit of smoked salmon.
No.
Fuck it. It's raw.
Mate, it's banging, though.
It's horrific.
No, it's good.
It tastes exactly like it
smoked
looks.
salmon.
It tastes wet. And not in a good way. It's just slimy. What are you talking about? It's not nice.
The smoked one you get just in a pack from Aldi. Yeah,
Bollocks.
it's banging.
Oh, yeah,
it is
bollocks.
banging.
Yeah.
So do
Cook
I
it.
like sushi?
Put it in the oven.
You probably would.
No, I've never tried it.
Never
because
tried
it's
it?
always
You
like-
will like it. That is sushi.
But
Raw
there's
salmon
always-
is sushi.
Yeah.
But there's loads of different.
Yeah, you can get like
Fish.
tuna, you can get like prawn, you can get like...
See, I can eat tuna.
you
out
can
the
even
can.
get sushi
Do
that...
you know if someone opens tuna within like a mile radius of me, I honestly want them slaughtered.
Do you,
Like,
do you not like
Really?
tuna?
if someone gets a tuna mayo butty out on a train, I will call the police. Like, it's disgusting. It smells horrible. I can't.
I like
can't,
seafood. I sat and said that I don't like it, but I do.
I like
like
seafood.
salmon.
You're not,
I
you're
love
not a
seafood.
tuna fan, though?
I love tuna.
Tuna. The being in the same. If someone opened a tin of tuna in here right now, I'm not messing. I'd get off and I wouldn't finish
Wow.
it.
Because I thought tuna's like entry level. Like, do you know what I mean? Like fish and chips in it. Tuna's not real. It is seafood, but it's not really seafood.
Ugh, the smell of it
Oh,
just.
wow.
Oh, I can't.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
we did a food challenge with
Yeah.
our podcast, and we were eating the most ridiculous things in the world. A century egg, which is like a 100-year-old Chinese egg. Ate that. Was like, okay. The main challenge they gave me was eating tuna. Couldn't do it.
Just like out of a can, or...
If I said to you put a price on you finishing a can of tuna, put a real price on it.
Are you gagging now?
I can't. It's the sort of
Mate,
it.
if I'm offering you £500,000 in a duffel bag,
You'd have to be. It'd have to be
Tax-free.
like that. It'd have to change my life.
Wow.
you do it for £500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, there's not much. Like,
Have you
I'd
ever-
suck both of you off and rim him for 500 grand. You know what I mean? Like,
Have you got that kind of
That's handy, because apparently my dick tastes like tuna, so 2 in 1.
Have you ever been to Japan? That's where it originated from, right? Sushi? Is that
Yeah,
where it
yeah,
started?
it's Japanese, isn't
I
it?
never
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
No, my mate lived there for a year. He was teaching English as a foreign language out there, and he loved it. Favourite
Yeah.
place in the world, but no, I haven't been yet. I do
Yeah,
wanna
I'd
go.
love to. I'd love to go,
I'd love
and
to go to
Charlotte's the same. But I think the only thing that would put Charlotte off is the food. Because I'm one of them that I will try other. Like you said, you went to Brussels and you tried the local food.
Charlotte's very, very kind of... Because we went to Milan, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we did a trip to Milan with our wives, and...
She'd eat McDonald's every day.
yeah, like with Milan, like, you know, pizza and pasta, really good food.
Yeah.
And Charlotte was like, oh, there's a McDonald's there.
No, we went to Thailand for 3 weeks and she ate KFC most days.
That's
Like
insane.
it's ridiculous. But like she's slowly getting there. Like now she's like I've sort of forced it into her a bit where I'm saying you can't just say you don't like something like you do with sushi if you haven't tried it. Like give it a go, and she's trying stuff.
My missus doesn't like a lot of stuff, but she will try anything.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about food.
I was gonna say, yeah. Have you tried artichokes? It's like a roasted vegetable in Italy mainly.
No.
I tried that for the first time the other day, and the bloke was like, he said, "I will make you the most special artichoke you will ever." He was in this gorgeous restaurant, one of those where you go and you select what meat you want. They've hunted it themselves. It's all on the front. You say, "I'll have that," and how much. And he said, "I'll make you the best artichoke you will ever have. It's special. We make it in this way." And I was like, "Right, wicked, okay." He put it down in front of me and watched me to like gauge my reaction, and it tasted like shit. and I had to sort of go, yeah, great.
That's bang out of order on his part, that.
Yeah,
it's
watching me. But I said to him, like, oh, I'm going to save that for my main meal so I can, like, just... But the main reason I saved it so I can ram it in.
Try something for?
Yeah.
It's like when your mate tries to show me a video.
What do you mean?
Like, you know when your mate's like, oh, this video's dead funny, I'm like, text me. I'll watch it in a bit when I haven't got the pressure of having to find it funny in front of you.
Like when someone shows you a photo with a kid and it's not that cute and you've got to go, that's cute, isn't it?
Do you know what I've started doing with stuff like that? Just going really over the top the other way.
What's good? Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, whose is that? Oh, yours!
That's not yours.
She's lovely.
Is there any like, what's your favourite, like the nicest meal you've ever had? Would that be like the one you had in the kitchen in...
Yeah, but that's hard to sort of... I can't even remember what I had. It was just like 11 different things that he'd made. And like, I love Italian, but I think I eat Chinese the most because it's easy to just order it.
Yeah.
But Italian done well.
Yeah.
A good bolognese or a good carbonara.
Yeah. We've just been there for the food alone, really. Yeah. Like, we just like every place you go into, you can go into what looks like the dingiest restaurant in Rome, and it will piss all over any Italian that's in the UK. But they've just done something right, haven't they? The Italians were. They have.
I like meat as well. Like I'm a big believer that a lot of people are meant to be vegan and veggie. Like there's an argument like, oh, we're supposed to be veggie and that's why all this and whatever. I think some people are meant to be. I'm not.
No.
Like, I'm meant to eat meat. Yeah, like, I've had an ex-girlfriend who tried to go vegan for a bit, but she couldn't stop eating chocolate. And then twice a week I would cook for us, and I'd make it vegan.
Yeah.
And I'd eat it, and I'd enjoy it, but I'd get to the end of it, and I'd be starving.
I'm the same, the meat. Yeah. Because like, I try and do it every now and again. I've got 2 kids, so I'm like, oh, let's, introduce a bit of this. And some of it's banging. Yeah. Like, some of it's dead nice. Don't know if you've ever had them, they look horrible, the vegan roasts.
Yeah.
So it's like it comes in like a tube, like black pudding or like the shit that you give your dogs, the chub rolls. And you kind of cook it for an hour and a half like a roast chicken. Oh my God, it is the nicest, most succulent roast chicken you'll ever eat. It's so nice. Like, my little girl prefers that now to like normal roast chicken. But I'm the same as you. I'll eat that on a roast. I'll have all my roast potatoes and all that, gravy, everything. And I'll eat it and I'll go, nah, I could do with something else. Do you know what I mean? It's like that feeling, isn't it, when you eat something, you go, oh, I could do with something sweet.
What gravy?
It's just there, you're like, I need a bit of...
What gravy do you put on this vegan dinner?
I'd normally do like a veggie stock one. If I was doing it properly, I'd normally make my own gravy.
You made me some gravy, I remember actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean,
I'll
love
have
cooking.
A
bit of granules.
Dead,
do you love cooking?
Yeah. But I'm shit at doing the dishes.
If
I cook, my dishes are just a mess for the week.
Yeah. I'm one of them. I use every pan.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something simple like a bit of pasta or something.
Like you put, I do that.
No, I can't do that. I'm in
that psychopath gave you that. The fact that you can have the mental capacity to clean something whilst you use it.
But mate, you've got so much extra spare time when things are cooking. But like when Charlotte makes a Sunday dinner, it's like she's gone into the kitchen with an AK-47 and just opened fire at everything. Like,
sometimes I just look at the ceiling afterwards and there's fucking gravy and spuds up there. And
fucking roast potatoes on the roof. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. But yeah, I think if you keep on top of it, and then it's easier when you're done.
But I find like with shit like you say with stuff like that, if you're making a roast, like there's always something to be keeping your eye on, isn't there? Because you're gonna overboil that, or that's gonna be in too long. So if you then start throwing in like fucking washing a pan down in the mix, I'm one of them. Yeah. Save it till the end.
You got a dishwasher, though, eh?
I have, yeah.
You got a dishwasher.
She doesn't like being cold, though. I've actually, do you know the most Tory thing about me? I've got a cleaner. She comes once a week.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
But
so I just make me flat at her, and then she comes
and cleans it up
while I'm doing our podcast, and then when I go back, it looks like
nice.
And what? How much do you pay your cleaner? Is it like it's only like 20-30 quid a month or something?
I can't remember. Like,
I'm assuming it's a lady. I've just said she's.
Yeah, I think she gets like 60 quid and it takes like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
She's just like, give me 60 quid, I'll do what I can, and then I'm off. And I'm like,
but that makes it easy because when I'm not working, I keep on top of the house. Like I keep on top of things. But like I had a spring clean a couple of weeks ago. It took me like 4 or 5 hours, and I didn't even do like the top cupboards. I only did the bottom ones, but I got like most of it done. But I'm thinking, if you can get someone to come and do it for like 30 quid, like that's so much easier. I can go play golf.
I'm so bad for like. if I can not do something and I can get it done by someone else for a reasonable price, I will pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm just lazy naturally.
Yeah.
It gives me the time to be creative and, you know, edit a stand-up clip and write a bit and scroll on my phone and just be like, I'm a master procrastinator.
And it's good stuff like that because, like you say, again, it's helping someone else out. You know what I mean? It's giving that cleaner like more work. Which,
you're generating more. Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it, I guess, isn't it? For being a lazy bastard. Yeah. But I reckon that's about it, mate. I reckon we've pretty much covered
how long we've been going for, Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, sound, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks very much, fellas.
It's been fucking funny anyway, put it that way.
Yeah, mate, really enjoyed it. Buzzing for coming on.
Mate. Cheers, Adam.
Thanks very much. I've got a couple of stand-up specials on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, we said actually. Yeah, definitely.
Juicy went out recently. That's probably the best work I've ever done.
And where is that? Where's that?
It's on the Have a Word podcast YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/Have a Word pod, there's 2 specials there, Juicy and Imperious. And then me tour. By the time this goes out, the tour will be on sale.
Yeah, he was telling us that you're doing the O2 Academy just across the
road. The O2 Apollo in Manchester, the Empire in Liverpool, but there's like 62 dates. I'm going all around the UK, so wherever you are, like, I think we're adding Grimsby as well, but we're definitely doing Hull and Leeds and York and Sheffield and Newcastle and Glasgow.
This is you was telling me, because we were talking about like the arena in Liverpool, weren't we? This is all just before we came on, and you said that you really, really wanted to play the Empire because it was one of them. Yeah,
it's like we're probably at a position now where if I'd have booked the arena in Liverpool, we probably could have sold it out. Mm-hmm. The Empire is like a quarter of the size, so we're gonna do, I think, 2 shows there instead. Maybe we'll see if we need to add any more than that. Yeah. But I don't want to skip the Empire. I haven't played it yet at all. I haven't even supported someone there. Like the Apollo in Manchester, I've done a couple of times supporting like other comics.
Yeah.
Never headlined it myself. The Empire, I've never stepped foot on stage in. It's the first place I ever seen.
I was going to say, is that somewhere that you went as a kid and like this? Is that?
I seen Ross Noble there. He was the first comedian I ever saw. I seen Ross Noble, and then I seen John Bishop there.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen someone else there as well, but I've seen Kevin Bridges there as well.
Yeah.
But I've never been on that stage, and it's the nicest room in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So
mate,
we're gonna
fair play to you for doing that, because like most people would go arenas. Like we want to be doing arenas, but like for you and like you said, for something that you've wanted since you was younger to go and make
it's just
that
part.
Thing,
it's
like, did you want to record it as a special there as well?
Yeah, so we're gonna tape the special there and just like we've recorded my last big special in the Philharmonic Hall in Liverpool, which was great. But the Empire is such a nicer room for comedy and more aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. It's just going to look incredible. That's where Imperious was filmed, the Philharmonic, and then Juicy was filmed in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Juicy's a much smaller room because of the style of story it is. It's a totally different.
Well, that's we was talking to Lloyd, who you know. Lloyd has been on a previous.
I thought you was.
Yeah, you're not Lloyd.
Sorry, you were saying off camera you get recognised.
Yeah, but you do as well. So you're pretty much the same person.
Yeah,
what was I saying?
You were talking to Lloyd.
Oh yeah, we was talking to Lloyd about whether he wants to go on and do arenas and stuff like that, and he's played like the O2 and like the MEN and things like that, and he loves all that. But then he said like these smaller venues, they're just more intimate, and because you do a lot of crowd interaction as well, don't you, on your stand up and stuff? So like if you're doing that in an arena, it just doesn't have the same.
Yeah, when I do the smaller venues, I do crowd work, but if I'm doing a big room, just go and fucking do the show.
Just do the routine.
Do you know what I mean? I just like
you have
do
to write it differently, don't you, for where you're going? I guess.
It depends on the room.
What do you prefer doing? Do you like? Because I know, like, because I've seen Paul Smith, who's obviously a friend of yours. He's like the way he is with the crowd is like he came to Grimsby and his crowd stuff, the way he was on people was fucking brilliant.
He's the best at doing crowd work in a big room.
Yeah.
Him and Andrew Schultz, the New York comic, they can do crowd work in a big room. It's very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
There's not many people who can come close to those two. I've never considered myself like an amazing crowd work comic. Like I can deal with heckles and stuff. And if someone's a dick, like I'm good at quite, putting them down and getting them kicked out and doing it in a funny way. I like to think so anyway.
Have you had that a lot? People just being dickheads, getting them out?
People just get drunk.
Yeah.
Like even big fans of yours can come along and be a dick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if
they want to try and outdo you, don't they? They want to try and go, if I could make him laugh.
Or just showing off in front of their mates. And
it's a combination of those two things. And other time, do you know the worst person to have in an audience is someone who wants to let you know that they're your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Like when we first started doing, because obviously our podcast started just before COVID and then sort of blew up throughout COVID. When we first came out of that and started doing shows for the first time with this like bigger fan base, people were coming to shows and in the middle of a setup to a joke, shouting podcast references. You know, like running jokes from the podcast.
Yeah.
They just shout. And what they're trying to do, because they're drunk, they're 8 pints in.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're sat there watching it going, I love this guy. And he doesn't realise that I'm his biggest fan here. How can I let him know that I love his thing?
Yeah.
What do they say on the podcast all the time? Wag wag! And you're like, lad, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You just ruined a 5-minute setup to a punchline. Like, shut up.
I guess like it's trying to disassociate from, because obviously when you guys are doing the podcast, you are just in the moment and it's just like this. It's you just chatting, so everything's just coming to mind and things like that coming to mind. I guess a lot of people don't realise the work.
Yeah.
Because they just go, oh, Adam Rowe, he's a funny bloke, and you are a naturally funny bloke. You could just stand there and make people laugh, but he's not realised. Oh, actually, you've probably sunk hours and hours behind your laptop scribbling notes to craft these jokes. He just thinks, oh, he's coming up with this now like he does on the podcast. Yeah. If I shout this, he'll start talking about that.
Yeah, it just like we had to have a full section on an episode of our show going, if you're going to come to a show,
don't do
talk to us afterwards. We'll take pictures with you. We'll have a conversation. We're absolutely made up that you're coming to see us. Shut up.
But just leave that bit, yeah.
You're not, like, you're trying to be our favourite person in the room and you're becoming our least favourite person in the room by doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a shame that people get like that. But I guess they're just, like you said,
they're drunk and, like, I find it difficult to go too hard on them, like, sat here and go, oh, they're fucking stupid cunts. Like, I can't do that because if I wasn't a comedian, I might be that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when I'm at a comedy club, and like there's a stag doing and they get kicked out because they're talking, because they're all on fucking Charlie and drunk and whatever. Part of me is like, that might be me and my mates if I wasn't educated on what it's like.
On the other side.
If there's 12 people on a stag do and they go to a comedy club, 2 of them wanted to go and see comedy. The other 10 want to get twatted for Jono's stag do. They don't care where they are. They're not asked about listening to me. They just want to have a night out because they've got 2 kids and they've had an argument with the wife and being like, I'm fucking going. Now it's his fucking stag do. You're not. You can look after the kids for once. Fuck off. And he's gone to another city for the weekend. He just wants to take advantage of getting absolutely mashed, knowing he's as far away from his wife as possible and can't be told off for any. He just wants to get rotten drunk. And then the fucking best man's gone, oh, you got to come and listen to some twat you've never heard of for 20 minutes. Like, he doesn't give a shit about me. Why would he? Like, his life's harder than mine. And I'm there like a fucking school teacher going, can you shut up, please? I've got a well-crafted joke. He's like, I'm not arsed, mate. This is my only weekend away all year. I do get it. But, like, do us a favour. If you're going on a stag do, just don't go to a comedy club.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But when does the tour start?
October, officially. So, I'm going to go to the Edinburgh Festival again this year, which I swore I'd never do again. But I'm going to do the full run.
I've never been.
I loved it when I went.
It's just a long, hard month as a comedian, the way I've done it in the past. But this year should be a bit softer on me. But I'm going to go there and get the show ready to go on tour while I'm there. So do like a work in progress run. Yeah. September, I've got some European dates that aren't announced yet, but they'll go out soon. And then the UK tour starts on the 5th of October, I think in Carlisle. Nice. Or adamrowe.co.uk/shows, or just adamrowe.co.uk. Yeah. They'll all be there by the time this goes on.
Nice one, man. And if you are playing near us as well, like I'm happy to come along. Tomo needs a fucking wristband. He needs, as he said before, he's not coming unless he's sat in the green room with you beforehand.
Yeah, you can.
I'll just come along and stand in the crowd.
I'll let you know when I'm in Manchester and in Grimsby or Hull, and come down. We'll have a bevy in there.
Oh, yeah, nice one. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Another episode down.
Done and dusted.
Another lovely chat.
Another week out the way. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. Again, another lovely chat, and just nice to be doing the podcast, doing what we love doing, man. Yeah, it's nice to be together, and it's nice to have it all sort of done professionally and comfortably, and I think it's really showing with the guests that we're getting on at the moment. And I think, the more that we can keep doing this, the more that we can provide for you listeners at home, the viewers that are watching on YouTube. There is a way that you can support us, if Andy would like to tell us.
I will. You can support us in many ways. One of the main ways being we do have a Patreon account. If you can go on there, it's www.patreon.com/overrated everything. That just helps us to secure guests. You know, we want to be getting bigger and better guests from London and places like that down to the studio. Obviously, that costs money. And for a small fee each month, you guys can contribute towards that. And you'll get rewarded as well. What kind of rewards will you get, Thomas Turgoose?
Well, it depends how much they're willing to spend. No, we've got so much in store, haven't we? We've got like we've got the lives coming up.
We've got lives,
I know
which
we've
is
promised over the
exciting.
years. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't wait for all that. We've just got sort of behind the scenes exclusive footage that we're doing, and
got some bonus podcasts as well.
Some bonus podcasts with ourselves and with some guests.
Some of the guests.
Yeah, just sort of. But I guess as the more it goes on, the more surprises that we'll drop.
We want to have fun with it. We're creative people. We want to have fun. We want to be creative. We want to make some nice content for you guys.
Yes.
And keep that Patreon going over. But obviously, we ain't no fools. We know times can be hard for everyone. And so if you can't subscribe to Patreon, that's fine. That's cool. Yeah. What you can do, if you love the podcast, is like, subscribe, share, tell a mate as well. Yeah. Like, everyone's used to just going share. Like, actually sit in the pub or wherever you're meeting with your mates and socialising in the gym. Yeah. And just go, hey, have you heard that podcast? It's pretty good, you know. Yeah, get it on Spotify. Bam.
Play it really loudly when you're at a red light with the windows open.
Play it really loudly at red lights. Overrated Everything, the best podcast to play really loudly at red lights.
There you go.
If that's illegal, we're going to get sued.